When I was in my 20s, I have seen this kind of products from someone else, and at that time, somebody started the business, this kind of business, and because my family is in goldsmiths and gemstone, I mean jewelry, so, and I am a kind of gems lover person. So once I saw it, I just love it. And then I start from buy and sell from them before I started my own manufacturing facilities. And that is when I was like 28 or 27 years old, which is more than 20 years ago. And once I start, I find it, I've learned a lot more. And it's kind of reason why I even love the gemstone more and more until now today. The art and craft, because our product is not really pure art or pure craft, it's a mix. It's a mix of art and crafts. That's why it's inspired me a lot, and that's why I fall in love with it. Because it's not just only drawing, but it's something that you have to use your hands to make it out. I mean, to work it out, and you have to think about it, and then you have to have the good skills to do that. And that is how it is a challenge to me. And when you do something that you like and it is very challenging to you, it gives you all the energy. And that's why I've been doing this for all those years till now. And I am still enjoy doing it, because we try to develop all the time. So all these years I try to develop many items, many styles, many design, and try and errors all the time. Some of them are very successful, but some of them are not. It's common, but it doesn't give me any less energy to keep going. Either domestic or international. One common thing that I've found is that when you go to the right segment, those who love arts and crafts, they are in common. They really are in common, just only in details that are different. That means market preference are different, but the basic concept are still the same. When people love arts, love craft, and especially with the materials that are valuable, then it's even more value added to arts and crafts products. And I would say in terms of domestic and international, to answer your question, both of them basically the same, only the details, the market preference are different. But later on, I mean, after more than 10 years back, we are more focused to the international market. Because I would say after the crisis in Thailand, which was so called Tom Yam Gung, if you can recall that period of time, then the economy in Thailand is not so good. So we dropped a lot of the domestic business, only keep some good clienteles in as the retail shops for the tourists, something like that. And then we focus more in the international market. Yet we still play a part of being the manufacturer who supply to the reseller. We don't sell direct to the consumers, something like that. All right, so this is a sample or demonstration of how we make our artwork. First of all, we call our products as GemsArt. And these, you can see that these are the natural stone, the rough stones. Some are polished, some are not. And then we inlay the stone piece by piece, all by hand, with the glue, following the line drawing on the piece of glass. And you can see here is bigger stone, like this one is bigger amethyst stones, and then this one, little tiny one, even this little tiny one, we do it one by one. And this one is not the first layer, it's just layers after the layer. in order to complete the whole space of the picture. And after we finish all those pieces form, then we grind quartz into powder, and the quartz powder become white powder. That we dyed the powder in order to complete the artwork as beautifully as we can. And once everything is covered by the stone, then we just reverse it. Over like this. See, with the line drawing, it helps complete the artwork. See, like this. From the front, especially this part, from the front, you can see these are bigger pieces with the gradation, and they are bigger pieces. But when we lay piece by piece, there are still some spaces left between the pieces, especially the bigger, the more space will be left. So in order to complete the artwork, to have it as neat and beautiful as possible, we have to fill in those small spaces with the little tiny one, but again, the same type of the stone, same color of the stone, or even a little bit different color so that we can get even more depth effect of the color of the stone, of the area. So I'm going to show you how the layer by layer makes it different. See, when we finish those bigger pieces, then we have to lay on top of those bigger pieces in order to finish the space that are left over between the pieces with the little tiny ones here, one by one, piece by piece, carefully and neatly in order to complete all the whole, all the space with, and then complete it 100% without the space left over. And in order to create the depth, I would say it's kind of a little bit secret that we use with our technique is that we use different, sometimes it's different colors, sometimes it's the same color for the little tiny pieces in order to create the depth too when you see it on the front. That's how it is. See, like this, a little tiny one here, but actually on the other side will be the lighter color of the zircon. And that's how it creates the effects of the color, of the depth and everything here. So I'm gonna show you the front. Now I hope you can see what I was just described earlier. You see the gradation around here? And actually those are those that you can see more clearer are those bigger pieces. But the smaller pieces are the secret behind. That's how it works. And that's why it takes a long time to do so. Not just bigger piece, and then a lot of people ask me, why don't you do a bigger piece so that it's easier to see, easier to understand that it's the real stone. And I said, okay, the bigger piece, the same space, we finish early. I mean, it takes less time, but yet you lose the details. You will lose the details. That's why the smaller one takes longer time, but especially the gradation, it works nicely, much nicer. See, as we are here in Tucson, so I try to bring along different motifs, and one of the motifs that I thought that people here might like, which is the Native American Indians. And I find it that this piece, a lot of people are very interesting, and lots of requests, and even they order also this design. The beauty of this design is that the details. You can see the details here, over here. The details of the line, of the design, of the pattern over here. even though this is not considered a big piece for us because we used to make a very big piece, but this is not a small, so much small, yet we still would like to make it detailed enough to portray our craftsmanship and to show how well we are very good with the details, something like that. and then also the gradation, this one, the gradation, you can see this is real ruby. This is natural color ruby, and we make the gradation from a little bit darker to this lighter one, and even this one is opal. The differences, the range of the depth of the color is not so much, yet we have to do it in order to make the depth and the details and to create a beautiful artwork. So we try to do the gradation around here too. And even the lapis lazuli here, normally the lapis lazuli comes with the lines, with the little lines in little pattern lines inside the natural stone. So we have to be very selective with the lapis lazuli. Try to get rid of those that has lines because it won't give you the very deep color of the real lapis lazuli. And you know what? Out of 100% of the lapis that we use, we can select. We have to select three times. The first time we select only 5% out of the 100%, and then another around 60% of that 5%, and then another around less than 50% of that 60% of 50% of 5%. So it's, when we work with lapis, it's very time consuming in terms of selecting the stone, because everybody knows that lapis always has some lines, and here is most of them are without the line at all. See, this is how it takes when we work with our artwork too. And each and every piece, we provide the certificate of guarantee. First of all, to tell how we work with the artwork, how we make, and most important, secondly, is what kind of stone that we use for each particular design. And some of the stones are certified by the laboratory in Thailand, which is the most famous one, GIT, the Gem and Jewelry Institute of Thailand. It's a public organization and CIBJO's member. And here is a sample of the certificate of guarantee that we offer to our customers for each piece. Here we go. See, this is the story of how we make the artwork, and these are the sample of the stone that we used for this particular design and certified by the laboratory. GIT also allow us to use their certificates as a secondary reference in our certificate, and that's how our clients are very happy with that. And that's how we gain the trust, and that's how we have to keep our promise that we only use these type of stones, natural stones. I select this piece in order to show the gradation and in order to show the colorful, how we can make the motif very colorful. See, for example, like this one, this is apatite. And in apatite, you know that normally there are two different tones, green apatite and indigo blue apatite. And with this picture, we use both green apatite and indigo blue apatite to make the gradation, especially this part, you see. And here comes the lapis lazuli that I talked about earlier. It's also the same concept. And this is a ruby again. You see, and then the little tiny feather, the white one, we use the quartz. And sometimes in order to make it a little bit glitters, like over here, we use the mother of pearl. in order to, you know, when it is a little tiny one, you might want to show some glitterness to catch the eye, something like that. So these are the sample of the different color tone and the gradation with our work. Here comes another one that is recent technique. Instead of only using the stone, we use the gold together with the stone. This piece, I'll show you two different distinctive features. The first features is the gold. The gold here that we use is 24 karat gold leaf, which is very fragile. And when we work with these, we have to be very skillful and very careful because the gold is fragile, because it's very thin, because they are 24 gold leaf. And why we have to use 24K gold leaf? Because it doesn't change the color. The color doesn't change. So it's as well as the stone. So we want something that is very permanent, similar to the stone, so that they goes together very well. And with the gold, it gives you the glitterness and you know, some certain market, they always, gold is always valuable thing, and this kind of thing will last very long. So you want it to, if you want to add some more value, we always want to add the thing that worth the value for them to keep and to pay for. So we decided to try with the gold, and we were we were very successful with this technique. A lot of people love it. A lot of people love it. And the second thing for this piece of artwork that I like to show is a gradation of the skin. The skin is made from quartz. We grind quartz into powder and it becomes white powder. And that white powder we dye with color. And in order to work with the fine powder here, we have to be very skillful in order to do this. And you see the gradation. Is that within this face area, you can count the different level of the color of the powder that we work with. And one level of color, that means different powder. So that means that means the times we work with, the layer that we work with. Only this space, you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 6 different level of the powder color that we have to work with. Only this phase, and very highly skilled because no line, nothing. So just only a little shadow that helps, but yet you still need lots of skill, high skill to make it very smooth. And the emotion is very important for this one. I always tell my staff, my craftsmen, our quality, the first factor of our quality is it has to be beautiful, because it is what it is. It's a picture. The function of the picture is for decoration, and to decorate thing on the wall or any place in your house or in the office or anywhere, it has to be beautiful, or at least it has to be beautiful to those who display it. So quality for us, the first thing is that it has to be beautiful. And then blah, 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 blah. All over that I described, something like that. And that's how we work with it. And this is a sample of the one that I would like to show you. He painted 3 edges of woman in the same painting, but we pick only the mother and the child in order to show the love, the eternity love of between the mother and the child. And that's why the painting is so beautiful, and I love it so much that I couldn't resist. getting the motive and getting the inspiration and use our technique, our own way to present the mother and child version in GemsArt. And also those artwork during the Art Nouveau period are very complement with our technique, especially with the gold and with the stone, because during that period is the inspiration mostly are from nature, and during that period of time we don't have wars, so people live a beautiful life. So I would say that's why the motif from that period, the Art Nouveau, very complement to our technique. That's why I would say the most popular design that we sell very well are in Art Nouveau period of time, the motif. So we try to create more function with our artwork instead of just only being a picture. So we decorated them on the top of the box, and this is one of the boxes that we offer. So this is made from solid wood, rubber wood, and see on the top we decorated with our GemsArt. This one is one of the popular design too, especially to those cat lovers. And these are from the real cats. The real cat has, bi-color eyes cat, and it's called bobtail. And here's the function of the box. So we created as a jewelry box, multi-purpose for jewelry box, and with a little certificate of guarantee, also the same concept. This one is a music box. Okay, and this motif is the scenery from Mediterranean area. Why we choose that area? Because that area is very colorful. So this is a motif that we try to pick from the scenery that can still show a lot of colors of the stone that we make. And here's a here, last but not least, this is the smallest items that we created, and from the artwork with the picture function, now it becomes the pictorial artwork that you can wear. And this is a same concept. We still work with the same concept, but in a little tiny area, much smaller than we used to work before. At first, we thought that may not be possible to work with these small area, tiny area for us. But we did try. I never give up trying. So we try, and then we come up with these beautiful piece, very colorful mix of the stone. This is blue apatite, greenish blue apatite, and then some of the jade here, and with the gold too. We still use the gold because when it is small and is on the neck, it looks, if some people look from the far side, you see better with the gold effect. I can show you later, and then you can see it, what you can understand what I'm talking about. And you see, even the little tiny one here, we still try to do the gradation over here. You see, even here, and again with the small space, when it comes with the white, we always try to use the mother of pearl because it glitters. No matter how small they are, they still glitters. So that's why for the white part of the small piece, usually we try to use mother of pearl, and we try to add some of the gold in order to catch the eyes when it is on a woman's neck. Something like this. I'm going to show you. When we first start with this item, and I was thinking about how we're gonna show the beauty of our work within the little tiny area. So I was thinking about the motif that is I am fascinated with. which is the face and the character of the wildlife. And we get used to the whole body of the wildlife. But when I thought about these little tiny area, so I thought, okay, maybe we just focus only the face, and here they are. And when I introduced this collection, I have almost every in the family, in this big cat family. I've got the lions and the male and the female. And then I've got the tiger, also the male and the female. I've got the cub, and I've got many like the cheetah, or the cheetah face, or the leopard with those, pattern, natural pattern. And then I try to focus only the face. And it went very well. I have got very good response from my customer. And once we introduce it, they are very easily to get acceptance, because it's very, very unique, and it can show the expression, the character of each wildlife. So I would say we have done quite well with this too. And I was so much relieved, because that was the first time that we worked with a very tiny area. So here's the sample. And she's a female, this one. Yeah.